is Christie Archer of Christie Archer Designs, and thank you for stumbling across my very first floss tube. I have been podcasting for quite a few years now with my knitting, and I decided to start I also sew and I also do cross stitch, and I decided to start sharing my cross stitching with you as well. So again, my name is Christie Archer, and I am so excited for you to be here and share in my excitement with cross stitching projects. I would say still fairly new to cross stitch. I am still discovering what thread number of floss threads and Ada. I'm still using Ada, and I'm trying to learn what number of flosses work best with what number Ada. I hope that makes sense. So hopefully if you're here, you obviously cross stitch or have an interest in cross stitching, and you won't mind the fact that I am new and still learning, and maybe you're new and still learning, and we can do this together. That being said, the very first cross stitch project that I picked up in my adult years, I played with it as a child. I did every kind of craft imaginable. So the very first project I picked up, love the project. But I did have to put it to the side because I discovered I was working on 14 count Ada, and I was using 2 strands of floss, and it just wasn't filling in. It had a lot of black and there was still a lot of white showing through. So I wasn't happy with the floss Ada count ratio. Hold just a moment. Okay, sorry about that. I just thought it would be best for me to actually have the project on hand to discuss. So this is the project, and it is such a me. Okay, I'm not going to be the traditional cross stitcher as far as like the, oh my goodness, I've been watching floss tubes and I'm trying to remember the terminology, the samplers and things like that. I'm not going to be that type of cross stitcher, so hopefully you'll like my flavor of cross stitch. If not, no big deal. But this is, and I'm gonna try to show this without any glare. Well, let me show the whole page. Okay, so this was my first project, and it is by Lifted Spirit, and it's called Strappy Shoes. And I'm definitely changing colors from the original. I will probably very seldom ever use called for colors. I'm definitely one who loves colors, and yeah, I'll always play with colors. So anyway, this is my very first project, and this is how far I got when I just realized I was not happy. Let's see if you can see, with the coverage that I was getting. And granted, that's the black. The other colors would probably not be as see-through, but I do love this project. So this one is on hold until I can decide how I want to proceed with it. And this is 14 count Ada again, and I was using 2 strands of floss. Okay, so my second attempt, what was my second attempt? My butterflies. I did finish some of those. Can you grab one of the butterflies? I'll share that with you. I'm normally very organized, but I shot 2 other podcasts before this, so my brain's starting to melt. Okay, thank you. This is one, okay. when I was working on this one and the strappy shoes, my eyesight has slowly been deteriorating, and I was really struggling to see the 14 count Ada. It's been a couple of months of me getting the right prescription. I had the right prescription, but I was struggling with getting the right glasses. Long story short, I can see again. I have glasses. But when I was working on these, I really wanted to cross stitch, but I couldn't see the holes. So I bought this plastic stuff at Hobby Lobby and bought these patterns, and it came in a set of, I don't remember how many, 9 butterflies. So there's 9 different butterfly patterns, and this is the color these are the colors my daughter has in her room currently. And so I made this one for her, again, completely changed the colors from the original. And then I started working on another one, but by that point, I had finally got glasses that I could work with, so I started working on Ada cloth. Again, went back to Ada cloth. Sorry, I was trying to find the other oh, no, that's not it. The other butterfly must be in my craft room. Okay, I did start one other, and I really am enjoying this, but now that I can work on the Ada, I don't want to do it on the plastic, whatever this stuff is called, plastic Ada, I don't know. So I may start this one over. I thought this would be so much fun. I work at a quilt shop, and I thought this would be a lot of fun to frame for the quilt shop because it just looks like a quilt. So I've kind of put this one on pause. This is 2 threads on, this is 14 count, but like I said, it's plastic. So I got a better coverage for some reason. So that was my 3rd project. So I had strappy shoes, I did this butterfly, started another one once again on the plastic, and then I started this one on the plastic. And I think I started cross stitching again December. I know strappy shoes I bought back in the fall, but because I couldn't see, I really didn't get started until like, I think I did most of strappy shoes like the last week of December, and then the others I started in January. I did start one other one in December because it's right here. This is a pattern that I bought off of Etsy, and I'll link everything down below that I can. I wanted to see. Okay, yeah. All right, so this is Cross Stitch Mini, and I'm slightly obsessed with this designer, and she has a thing where you can buy a lifetime membership to all of her patterns, and I bought that because, as you'll see, I have quite a few of hers. Almost all of my patterns are Cross Stitch Mini. So anyway, I bought this and thought it was really, really cute. I did have to make an adjustment. I don't know. Okay, the snowflake is, because the square is an even number, it made the snowflake off-centered. And so I changed that. Well, then of course, every row after that has to be changed as well. So I kind of made a mess on that one. I am going to figure it out, but for now, this is what I have. And let's see, I think this is 18 count. Yeah, this was 2 threads on 18 count, which to me, for my taste, was too tight. I found my sweet spot at 16 count Ada with 2 strands. That seems to be what I'm happiest with. Okay, so these are my flosses for that project. The ones that I can share flosses with you, I will. I haven't touched this one in a bit. Okay. Okay, so for my black, I am using 3799, which is really a dark gray. For my blue, I was using 3752, or am using. For my red, I am using 223. And I think I added extra colors. Well, yeah, I definitely added extra colors because let's see how many they used. It calls for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It calls for 7 colors. I'm using quite a bit more than 7. Okay, I have 2 different golds, and that's 437 and 738. And then sorry, I was trying to get all of my things together. 3052 for that green, and white is B5200, and the 2 pinks that I was using was 152 and 224, and then an ecru color 05, a darker blue 931, and then a darker green 3052. So those are the colors that I'm using for that project. And for anybody that might be interested, I used on these. Now I have bought actual floss drops since then, but I used bobbins, floss bobbins, and I have a back from my pattern making days. I used to make sewing patterns, and we use this thing called a rabbit ear punch because it looks like a rabbit, and it makes really big holes, and it's like really big, chunky, heavy, so it can cut through this plastic. So that's what I did on that. The bag that I'm keeping it in is just a little vinyl pouch I got from Hobby Lobby. So that's that project. Normally I will be a little more organized. I will do FOs, whips, and then upcoming projects. I just realized I'm kind of all over the place right now. And if you have any questions, please just leave them in the comments below, especially with this one being my first one and with me being fairly new. There's that. I'm sure you guys will have plenty of questions for me. Okay, the next project, I've shown it, but I wanted to show the colors, the thread colors. These are thread drops that I got off of Amazon, and I love them. I've got to order a couple of more packs. I only ordered one because I wasn't sure if I was going to like them or not, but I will link these below. These are amazing. And then what I'm going to do to so that I can label each color, there are these little ring tags. They're barbell tags. And I'm just going to get those and loop them around either here or here, so that I can write what the floss name and number is on them. So that is to come. This set is not one that I would be naming or numbering anyway, because this was a set that I got from Hobby Lobby that was in like the big packages. What can I say about these? I'm not jumping up and down about them. I don't think for what I am doing that they work. I think if you were doing like embroidery on clothes, this would be amazing. It's 100% cotton. So I think it would work really well. But these are the colors that the pack came with. Came with a couple of others too. I'll show you those. These are the colors that I'm using for that the quilting looking project. Where did it go? Oh. So for this project, I was using these threads. And I thought it was fun, but I tell you the problem that I ran into, and again, this could be because I'm knitting it on this sorry guys. Because I was stitching it on this plastic Aida, I would get, and I don't have really long threads, so it's not, I'm not cutting them really long, but I'd get about halfway through and my threads would break. And I'm sure it's because it's 100% cotton, but it could be because I'm doing it on this plastic too. I will have to try this on cotton and see if I get better results. If not, I'll probably just go buy DMCs in similar colors and do this. We'll see. We'll see how this project goes. This is all of the floss that it came with. So it came with several, oh, and this will be the color that I use for in between. So this is full coverage. A lot of my stuff's gonna be full coverage just because that's the look I like. So anyway, all of this white in between will be filled in with that really pretty creamy color. But yeah, these are all the colors and flosses that pack came with. I thought it was a fun color palette. This is what I made up. So I didn't do this as a traditional cross stitch pattern. I just designed it in Illustrator, and I knew how many stitches it took for each triangle. So this is just a color guide for me as I'm doing it. So those are the colors that it will look like. And again, the black, where it's black, will actually be that ecru color. So I thought that'd be a lot of fun for a quilt shop. So yeah, that is that project. And this is a basket that is on my bedside table, has a cubby area, and this sits in my cubby area, and have a chair right next to my bedside table, so I can just pull this out and my projects are all right there. All right, there's that back. Thank you for getting that for me. Okay, that one I've talked about. Okay. The next project I have to talk about is by the same company. Like I said, you will see, sorry, I've got a bunch of patterns pulled up. Let's see which one it is. It's by Cross Stitch Mini. Oh, I must have that one. Let's see. Oh, there it is. Okay. Cross Stitch Mini. This is my next one. I've finished it with the exception of the back stitching. I haven't done that yet. Oop. Go back one more. Okay. And it is the cutest little lighthouse. And I am telling you, I'm really enjoying these mini projects. It's my speed. The styles are very minimal. I just like for my projects to be kind of brainless and fun. I like to do them while I'm watching TV. So I really don't want them to be anything crazy and complicated, but isn't that precious? Okay, let me show you what I ended up with. I altered the colors just slightly on this one. This one, I was doing this on 18 count and found that I did not like 2 strands on 18 count. It was way too much. As I had talked about in one of the projects, I can't remember which one. I had done, oh yeah, the Christmas one. I did 2 strands on 18 count there. Do not like that. So this one, I did 1 strand. I really love the drape of it in my hand. I stitch in hand, and I really like the feel of this in my hand. So I feel like 2 strands of floss with 16 count or 1 strand of floss with 18 count, those are going to be my sweet spots. If I do 14 count, I'll probably do 3 strands, but I haven't tried that yet. So have you guys ever done 3 strands with 14 count? If so, what are your thoughts on that? Okay, so this is my little, and you'll have to excuse the little, when I was stitching that day, I must have had something fuzzy on, or maybe I had just finished knitting something and had yarn fuzz, but fuzz was getting caught in my stitches. I'm hoping when I wash it, it'll come out. And I think I'm going to wash it before I do the back stitching. That's kind of why I haven't done the back stitching yet. So I'm going to wash that and block it, and then do the back stitching. And it is just so cute. It just makes me so happy. And I did it in a day. I mean, it takes no time, and you have that feeling of accomplishment, and it's a fun project because it's not stressful trying to figure out, oh, am I getting my stitches in the right place? Okay, so that is the lighthouse. That one's called Mini Landscape Lighthouse. The next one I started working on is this one. Hopefully my mother is not watching. Mom, if you're watching, you need to look away for a minute because this one's for you for Mother's Day. This one is Modern. It's called Modern number 2. And I am completely customizing these colors for my mother. Her house is done in grays and yellows. And I haven't finished this one yet, only because I cannot find the yellows that make me happy. What I'm really wanting. I may end up going with something that is not exactly what I had in mind, but this is how far I have got on that. And I did make one mistake on this one, but I was able to counteract the one mistake. I just got excited and did 1 row too many here. So up here I did 1 row less. Nobody will know. It's perfectly fine. So anyway, I need to find 2 yellows that I like to do the 2 tones of the wall. I have considered doing just 1 color, and that may be what I end up doing because I found a 1 color yellow that I love, but I can't find a coordinate for it. So I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do there. I do have 2 yellows. They have a little bit too much green in them for her house. Her house is a very cheerful yellow, and so I'm not really sure about that. But this is 16 count Aida with 2 strands. And I think my threads for these must be in my bedroom. Hold please, and I'll get the numbers. I'll get the numbers for those. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so the thread colors for this project, I'm using 02 for the gray. That was for the steps. And then for the bottles, I used 816. And I used 161. I love that periwinkle kind of blue. So pretty. Okay, these are the 2 yellows that I have. And they have too much green in them. I really wanted just a bright, cheerful yellow. not bright. Bright's not the right word. More warmer than these. These are a little more muted, but this may be, as a matter of fact, I've already got one threaded ready to go. This may be what I end up using. So not sure about that, but that's the floss I used for that project, or am using. And my other, my next project, once that is done, I'm going to finish that this weekend. I will also be doing another one for my mother-in-law. And I'm doing this one desert themed because she recently came and visited us, and we live in Southern California in a desert. If I didn't say that already, I've done 3 podcasts today, so my what I've said is getting jumbled together. Anyway, when she was here, she wanted a memorabilia from the area, that was representative of where we live. We couldn't find anything at the time, and of course, when she's here, it's such a short period of time, there's never enough time to do everything you want to do. So the other day, my husband and I found a mug for her that's of the area, and I thought, oh, I'm going to do a little cross stitch to go with it. So this one's desert themed, but the colors that make her happy are purple and green. So I'm changing the colors up, but this is the pattern I'm doing for her. So I'm going to be doing the cactus green. It'll be a different color green. I think I have those threads in here. This will be a sand color. The mountains will be a really dark, smoky purple. And then the sky is going to be a light, very light violet, light lilac. And then the sun, I'm not quite sure what color I'm going to do on that yet, but let's see. Okay. Oh, I only have the purples in here. I didn't do the other colors, but I'll show you that next time. So these are the purples that I'm using. The one's blowing out. It's actually, this is a lot darker than what it's showing. Let's see. So we have color 25 and 3041. Let me see if I can get a more accurate. I know that's far away, but that's probably a little more accurate. Yeah. So I think that'll be pretty with the green and then the beige, or the sand color. And then what color do you guys think I should do the sun with the purple and the beige and the green? I didn't want to do orange or red. That would be way too intense. Maybe more of a peachy color that's still kind of reminiscent, but would look pretty with something that's going to be a little softer, a little more powdery. So let's see. Something like that could be cute for the sun, but more powdery than this. But that with a green. I know these aren't the greens that I'm using, but just for now as a color palette. So I don't know, we'll see. But I'm having fun with these little mini cross stitch. Yeah, I'm really, really, really enjoying it a lot. Just trying to see. I'm gonna do a quick flash of this. So I took so when she does the pattern, she does it in color, and then she does it in black and white. So I went in on my iPad and scribbled in, I use GoodNotes, so I scribbled in with highlighter, kind of the color palette I was thinking. And so I'm gonna flash that real quick. Hopefully this won't be bad to do. So, I was trying to do it without a glare. So that's kind of the color palette I'm thinking. What do you think? All right. So cross stitch. I think that's it. Yeah, that was a short episode. All of my other podcasts have been a lot longer. This is a craft that I am thoroughly enjoying. I love having multiple crafts to work on. What crafts do you do? What is your favorite out of all of the crafts that you do, or do you have a favorite? I enjoy all of mine just equally. I do enjoy being able to alternate between crafts, you know, like in the evenings, most of the time I'll knit a little bit and then I cross stitch a little bit. During the daytime, I'm either knitting or sewing or I'm at the shop working. So yeah, I really enjoy all of them just as much as the other. I do a lot of computer design work. I enjoy that. But what is your favorite kind of cross stitching to do? Do you like doing full coverage? Do you prefer doing confetti cross stitching? Do you prefer something a little simpler that's easy on the mind? Are there any tips and tricks you have for me? Any advice that you have from experience would be greatly appreciated. And also tell me what kind of things, with this being my first episode, tell me what kind of things you would have interest in seeing on this floss tube. I would definitely be interested in that as well. Tell me a little bit about yourself. I would love to get to know you. If you have enjoyed this episode and think that you would enjoy seeing more like it, would love for you to hit the like button. That helps me get more views from viewers like you. And I would love for you to subscribe. Because I am doing quite a few different types of podcasts now, it would be wise, if you can, to click the bell icon as well. Because normally with my knitting, I was podcasting the last Sunday of every month. And then I decided to start doing all of this as well. So my upload schedule is probably going to be a little sporadic. I would like to get into a routine, but I'm not quite sure what that's going to be yet. So if you can, click the bell icon, and that way you'll be notified as soon as I upload, and you can check it out and see if it's a knitting or a sewing or a cross stitch. And if it's something you're interested in, I would love to visit with you for a little bit. But I think that's it for today, and I hope to see you back again soon. I hope you are enjoying whatever project you're working on, and I guess I will see you next time. Bye.